Here we see Mike early land this jab right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So Mike barely escaped that. Paul landed a beautiful jab with right hand first. Right there, and knocked Mike off balance 2 times. And Mike was highly off balance right there. I don't like how his legs look. Yeah, something wrong with the mouth gear.
That affects his oxygen intake, right?
Tyson people talk to. There's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah,
because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
Here we see Mike Earing landing his jaw right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see right hand grazes Mike T by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So Mike Tyson just exposed the truth behind the Jake Paul fight. And yes, it's as dramatic as you'd expect Mike, the same guy who can shatter heavy bags during training with punches that sound like gunshots, steps into the ring and suddenly looks soft. Those famously brutal hooks, Mia, that legendary power dialed down to gentle sparring partner mode. You see Jake Paul laying a beautiful jab where right hand first right there and knocked Mike off balance 2 times, and Mike was highly off balance right there. I don't like how his legs look. Something wrong with the mouth G that affects his oxygen intake. Right, Tyson's punches, which usually make opponents question their life choices, seem more like friendly pats on Jake Paul's older, the man who once turned opponents into memes before memes were a thing, now couldn't put away a YouTuber with only 11 fights. Suspicious. Well, Tyson just laid it all be, and trust me, his explanation is juicier than anything you've seen on X this week. Music, applause, music. Mike Tyson people talk to people, or there's so certain people that are just crazy, man. Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake P just shouldn't even like he cause he's too old. I think you're crazy. Well, they're definitely uninformed, yeah, because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows, and he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation. Joe Rogan, the voice of modern combat sports, didn't hold back when dissecting the spectacle that was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul on his podcast. Rogan marveled at how surreal it was to witness a 58-year-old Tyson facing off against a YouTuber turned boxer. While he acknowledged Jake's youthful energy and evolving skills, Rogan couldn't ignore Tyson's diminished speed and power. Mike still has that head movement, Rogan noted, but the punches not what they used to be. In the end, Rogan summed it up: Jake may have won, but it wasn't the unstoppable Mike Tyson. Fans know and love Mike Tyson was right and I was wrong. Well, now you guys know the whole story about Shark Week, and if you don't, I begged him not to do the jump of the Roy Jones fight. You're too old, I love you, I don't want to see you take any more punishment. So I set him up on Shark Week. He got paid good money and he's like, are you __I. So he almost flipped out the last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat cause he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida, and he's like this, __I. Says that he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12 and he throws me in the ocean with a bunch of sharks. He was right about that too, but he basically said I told him you're basically 60 years old, and he's like, you honestly think this kid's going to do anything to me? Dana White just totally admitted it. Mike Tyson was right and Dana was totally wrong. It's about the Jake Paul fight. Shocking, right? He begged Tyson not to fight Roy Jones because he's too old, but somehow didn't think Jake Paul would be the one to take Tyson down. But hey, Tyson didn't need to knock Paul out. He just had to show up, collect his paycheck, and prove once again that when Tyson's in the mix, everyone makes money. Mike Tyson, nearly 60, didn't just box Jake Paul, he boxed the entire system. So next time you sit down for a Netflix night, don't kid yourself into thinking you're about to witness the greatest live sporting event. You're just watching a payday. disguised as a fight. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. Open and bell rings. Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened as soon as the bell went. Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and wave style. Now let me just stop right there. Even before I seen this script, that's exactly what was going to happen. Like, what else would happen? Would Mike Tyson come out? And we all wanted to see Tyson land a classic KO, but let's face it, this isn't the Tyson of the 80s. And Jake Paul, he didn't knock Tyson out because he couldn't, not for lack of trying, but because the risk of rushing in on a 58-year-old who still knows how to counter punch isn't worth it. Paul was happy playing it safe, winning on points and adding I beat Mike Tyson to his resume. Was the fight scripted? Nope. If it was, they need better writers, because this script lacked any actual drama or surprises. But sure, believe what you want. As for Tyson, he's already $20 million richer, and Jake Paul has another win in his record book. Meanwhile, boxing purists are crying into their vintage fight posters. Many are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there is this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. This was actually covered by world star hip hop, so let's read this alleged script and see how the fight was supposed to go down. So round one was supposed to go like this: the opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Mike Tyson just dropped the bomb on the Jake Paul fight, and surprise, people are calling it a glorified script, not a boxing match. Apparently this leaked script spelled out every punch, jab and dramatic stumble like it was a poorly written reality show. Tyson shows up in round one with his classic bob and weave, while Paul spends the time running around like he's avoiding his chores. Too, a few punches land, but shocker, Paul's youth keeps him ahead. Round two, Tyson throws a body sh shot so good it gets the crowd to gasp. On cue, Paul, being the marathon runner he apparently is, bounces around like fatigue is just a myth. The ring. Cautiously, Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability. Paul connects with a quick 1-2 combination before retreating. Tyson's timing appears slightly off, his punches a fraction slower than his prime. Round two, Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage to pepper Tyson with long jabs. By round three, Paul is suddenly confident in landing punches like he's been doing this forever, while Tyson's head movement goes into slow motion. Round four, Tyson looks tired. Paul's landing clean shots and the fight turns into a highlight reel for Jake's footwork. Finally, in round 5, Paul delivers a combo so perfectly timed Tyson ends up on the canvas. The 10C count hits. Paul wins by KO, and the crowd is left wondering if they just watched a fight or a Broadway play. Tyson didn't say outright if it was rigged, but let's be honest, it doesn't take a detective to see this was less boxing and more scripted drama like I expected it to be. What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer, the very good fighter? Do you think he deserves respect from the public? Absolutely. Hey, that was a good slap. I like that. Thanks. Apparently the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation couldn't handle the risk of a real fight, so the duo turned it into a sparring session with a sprinkle of drama. Tyson claimed it was all about giving fans a show, but what fans got was a watered-down version of boxing where both fighters agreed not to go too hard on each other. No knockdowns, no knockouts, just two guys playing tag in front of a paying audience. Tyson even confessed to carrying Jake Paul because why not? Clearly a YouTuber turned boxer needed help to look good in the ring. Of course, Tyson had his reasons. He revealed he'd been through a near-death experience earlier in the year, losing half his blood and undergoing 8 transfusions. That explained his lackluster performance, though it didn't do much to suit the fans who felt cheated. At any point did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you knew he was tiring out? Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show. Tony Bell called it a circus and urged everyone to boycott Paul until he fights someone not eligible for a senior discount. Terrence Crawford and Javannah Davis chimed in too, with Davis branding Paul a bozo for failing to finish a 58-year-old Tyson. Meanwhile, Paul, ever the showman, declared his delight over his win and expressed interest in fighting Tyson's brother next, because nothing screams legitimacy like hopping from one scripted spectacle to another. This fight didn't prove much except that boxing is willing to sell its soul for a payday. Tyson may still be a legend, but this match was more reality TV than real boxing. As for Jake, the self-proclaimed problem child, is still waiting for a real problem to face him in the ring. I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old MK Tyson. I believe he actually won the first 2 rounds. Jake Paul probably won the rest of them. Mike Tyson's legs were gone, man. They were gone, and I believe I got to get Ryan credit on this one, man, because Ryan from a Sports Wars, he did say that there would be like a no knockout clause Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, because apparently the pinnacle of boxing now involves a 58-year-old legend fighting a YouTuber turned boxer. The match